having someone you can lean on, who you can share your failures with, share your successes with, see what they've been doing in their business, what you've been doing, how you can help them, how they can help you. That is what keeps you motivated. Hey, 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 it's your girl, Crystal P, the Hormone MP, and I am back with a solo episode where I want to discuss something that is on my heart, especially after a webinar challenge that we're doing this week, Dr. Jones and I, for our IV hydration business. And this is for those who have maybe started your business and you are feeling stuck, like you can't get clients, you can't get customers, and you don't know what you are not doing right. If that is you, you will definitely want to stay tuned and listen to this episode. So when I started my business, as you guys know or you don't know, if you're a new listener, I started my business during COVID. So when I think back on it, although it was a scary time to start a business during COVID, now mind you, this was my second business. But up until then, I was on maternity leave. And let me just tell you guys, I use my benefits. I squeeze everything that I can out of my benefits from work. So what that looks like is immediately when I got pregnant and I worked in the ER. And actually, I probably waited till I was probably about halfway through my pregnancy, right? The first one, you want to thug it out and people want to work until they're basically about to deliver. And I was like, oh no, I can't do that. So I ended up going out probably at least after 30 weeks or so, ended up going out on light duty because in the ER, my doctor, actually, no, what happened is I had a really great OBGYN who was like, oh no, you work in the ER, there's no pushing and pulling. So he wrote me that note at about 20 weeks pregnant. I might have even been like 12 weeks. I don't know. He was very sensitive to the fact of women who are pregnant pushing and pulling, right? So in the ER, we push and pull over, I think it was over 15 pounds all the time. So because of that, they had to put me on light duty. And what that meant was that I had to go to another department and basically sit and do other admin things. So I ended up getting sent, which crazy story comes full circle. I actually ended up getting sent to the department that I work in now, per diem as a nurse practitioner. And I was with the nurse practitioner who still works there. This was 5 years ago. And she's still there. But anyways, I was just put in this room to help her order nicotine patches for people. So since I was an RN, they needed extra people because now I know that she does obesity medicine and she was also covering the smoking cessation classes. So they had me just helping order. So she gave me a list. She didn't bug me. Nobody knew if I came or went. And all I had to do was order nicotine patches. So of course, after a week or two, started getting my flow. And I say all that to say, all I did was listen to podcasts about starting businesses, Side Hustle Pro. I would just listen to podcast after podcast while I was on this light duty. Now, fast forward to was on maternity leave, had my baby. It was just one at the time, so it was very quiet. She would go down for naps. Shortly after she was born, 3 months after she was born, COVID hit. So when COVID, we were, of course, as you know, stuck in the house. I took an extended maternity leave. I don't think I went back until my baby was about 9 months old. But that whole time during COVID, I was watching webinars. And I was, that was the thing back then. Everyone was having a webinar on something. And that's where my passion for like taking courses and classes really grew because, of course, there were some that were good, but there were some that were great. And I got to learn marketing. Now, mind you, 5 years later, I'm still trying to figure it out. But for those who are struggling and can't figure out why, you aren't getting any customers or why it's not working like you see other people. And the truth is that you have to really invest your time and energy into marketing. So if you are one of those people who maybe was able to figure it out from Google University, how to open your business, it doesn't stop there. If you did not have to have a coach to open your business, I would suggest that you get a coach to help you with learning marketing and sales, because those are two different things. Advertising, marketing, and sales are actually three different things. But if you just focus on at least marketing and sales, because as nurses, we don't know how to sell. As nurses, we don't know how to charge what we're worth. Those are things that had to be and are still being worked out of me even as we speak. I just raised my prices, and I had another coach come in and look, and she was like, I would immediately have you raise your prices. And I'm like, I just raised my prices, but I'm going to have to raise my prices again, because you know why? If other people are seeing that they will pay double for the value that I offer, then why am I charging so low for my services? So I will be increasing what I charge again. That's another part of sales and marketing. They will tell you the first thing you want to increase revenue in your business, increase your prices. So you have to learn marketing. So I encourage you, if you, again, I understand if you paid a coach, but hopefully you paid a coach. If they showed you how to start the business, they also showed you how to market the business. That's what one of the things that makes our IV hydration business stand out, is we really, really take the time to teach you guys business and marketing, and a little bit of sales. So if you did not have to pay for a coach, because I was saying it's probably expensive, you paid for a coach to help you start this business. Now you're trying to figure things out, and to have to pay, to learn marketing, that may be a bit of an expense. But if you did not have to pay for a coach to start your business, and you are looking to grow it, or why you're so stuck, I would suggest you get into someone who can teach you sales and marketing. Now, I do not mean by that go out and get a marketing team. Please, 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 we tell you all the time, especially if you do not know marketing and sales on your own, do not hire a marketing company, because all they're going to do is just do what has worked for people in other industries in the past, and that may not work for you. They may not know your unique selling proposition. You may not know your unique selling proposition. And it's so much easier and such a better experience, and you get the most out of your money when you go to a marketing company after you've already done the marketing yourself. But now you're ready to hand it off to someone, because you don't have the time to do it, because you're getting an influx in patient. That's the best time to go to a marketing company, but not when you're just learning marketing. You need a coach to teach you sales and marketing. So that's that. You need to learn sales and marketing. If you're struggling to find clients, it's because you don't know how to market and you don't know how to sell. This notion of selling to everyone, I'm just going to open up and sell to everyone, that will lead you nowhere. You really have to find a niche, a specific target audience population that you were talking to, because you're going to learn this target, you're going to name them, you're going to know everything they think of. So that way, when you're talking on social, or when you are trying to get these collaborations, you know exactly who it is, who your target client is, and you can speak to their needs. So sales and marketing is a big thing. Secondly, you have to be obsessed with this thing, okay? Especially, we did not go to business school. We do not know business. So to think that you're just going to open up as a nurse, which we can, and not be obsessed with this and learn it just like we were obsessed with nursing school, trying to get through that, you have to put that same energy and passion into business. You have to be obsessed. I can't tell you how many, like I said, that first maternity leave, and then going into COVID, how many webinars I watched and how many trainings I got, and had to do the work. And still, even, that got me to this far, but now it's time for the big hitters, right? So I just spent almost a 5-figure investment on my marketing coach, and he really taught me sales and marketing. And it was a great experience. And then now I'm like, okay, maybe I need to look more into like my branding, because I want a certain look and feel when it comes to my business and the type of client that I attract. So now I'm looking at a coach for that. So there's different coaches for different things. And I just want you guys to not be afraid to get a coach for the specific need you need in your business. Not hiring, again, a marketing team or more employees that you have to pay out on a monthly basis to hopefully get a return. I'm talking about someone who is going to teach you these skills, because once you learn these skills, you have them for life, right? You can learn how to market and sell anything to anybody. And that's what you really need, but you have to become obsessed. You have to, take the classes and do the work. You have to do the work. When we tell you to go out and market and go to these networking events, we're not just telling you that. I know a lot of times we hear stuff and it's just like, oh yeah, I should do that. You really have to do it, because I too have heard that from years. And it's actually, going out and networking is one of, I feel, my strong suits. I'm not the one to just, I can pump myself up, especially now the fear is like gone with that. But I can talk myself and pump myself up to do something. But I'm not like the type to just go out and just, hi, my name is Christal, and like make conversation, but I make myself do these things. We are telling you these things, not just, and oh, I hear it all the time. We'll do it. And also, when you go and you pitch yourself or your business to one client or to one, potential collaboration or partnership, and it doesn't work, don't let that get you discouraged. Again, you have to be obsessed with this. You have to, all the no's are going to lead up to a yes. You can only take so many no's before you lead up to the yes. And all the no's are doing are teaching you what to say, how to craft your message so that when you do get that yes, you're like, okay, this is working. This is what my target audience wants. This is what a potential other business that wants to collaborate with me. This is what they're looking for. And you continue to refine it. But if we just give up, we don't get obsessed with it, we will never get there. You will never get there because you'll just keep feeling defeated and feeling like things aren't working and that it's a failure and you're a failure. And then you'll go down that whole rabbit hole. And that's just not where you want it to be, especially in business, because we have to constantly keep ourselves motivated. I can be, it's funny, Dr. Jones and I will talk. And, on Monday, she's in a mood and I could just tell like she's in a mood with, business. And then by Wednesday, she's fine. She's talking like, sky's the limit, and she's back on, right? I can tell she's back on, but by that Wednesday I might be down and defeated, and then by that Friday we might both be up. So that leads me to my third point, and it's really key to really set yourself out to go out and again network, meet someone else in business. It doesn't have to be the same business as you. Get into these communities. Dr. Jones has a community of like-minded nurses who meet, I think they meet, however often they meet, once a month, but it's a whole community where you have access to it 24/7. You have to get in these communities, meet people in person, exchange information, reach out in the DMs, because this is my third point, having someone who you can lean on, who you can share your failures with, share your successes with, see what they've been doing in their business, what you've been doing, how you can help them, how they can help you. That is what keeps you motivated. So if you are someone, again, who started a business and you're not getting clients and you're feeling defeated and, you want to give up, you can't. You have to be obsessed with it. You can have a day or two when you're feeling down, but you have to constantly talk yourself up out of that. And the easiest way to do that is to have a partner or to have someone that you can, your business bestie. So how is that going to happen? Probably not in the circles that you're in or that you're used to, because it would have happened already. You have to make it a point to go out and get in these groups and seek people and find people and network. When we tell you guys that you have to market and go out and meet people in your community, you have to do that. We're not telling you that just to be talking, or that's because that's what the last guru said. These are things that we actually do. These are things that actually move the needle in my business, get traction in my business, get callbacks in my business. And it's just about the constant momentum. But sometimes what we do as entrepreneurs is we either have like a really good day, right? We'll go to an event, we'll do that event and we'll get a lot of people calling back in traction. And then we get tired. And then we want to sit back and take our foot off the gas for, the next month or two. And we cannot do that. You have to keep going. You have to keep being motivated. You have to keep yourself in these classes, keep learning. As me and Dr. Jones said, we are never without a coach. I'm with one coach thinking about how I'm gonna get to the next coach. I'm with that coach thinking about how I could get back in that other coach's VIP training or their mastermind. I am constantly looking for a coach because that is the only way that I'm going to grow, and using this coach might be saying that there's things that I heard back on those webinars back during COVID that I'm just understanding now, or that I'm at a place where I can implement. A lot of times I felt like, they were talking about all these things and it was a lot coming at me. I didn't understand what everything meant. So I kind of stalled, but now that I know different things and, I can piece them together. So don't be overwhelmed if you can't take all of what a training has to offer you, right? You pay for this marketing class and it's so much. A good course should at least let you have access to the information for a long extended period of time, and just go back to it as needed. As new challenges in your business come up, go back to that section and learn, okay, now I got my lead magnet together. Now I'm going to learn funnels. I'm going to take a course on that. Or, I think it would be good to teach my potential clients on a webinar. So I'm going to figure out how to put a webinar together. So you may not be able to use all the tools that you learn at one time, but at least you have that information and and you can pick up that information when you're ready. Another thing that I was going to say is, sometimes different coaches say different things. So there's one coach now that's talking kind of the same thing as my other coach, but she says it in a different way. And she says it in a way that I'm able to relate to. And that also helps with when you're trying to pick a coach. You want to pick someone who resonates with you, someone who you can relate to, someone who you get it. Like, I get what they're talking about. They're able to make these complex marketing things and tools and systems, they're able to explain them easier. That's what you want to look for. So I hope those tips help if you are someone who has either started a business and you are just feeling stuck, You have to get out there. You have to learn sales and marketing if you don't know it. If the things that you've done, you've heard a few things and you tried them once and they didn't work, you have to be obsessed with it to continue doing it, even if it didn't work. Seeing what didn't work last time, going out and trying it again. You have to not be afraid to try again. And then you have to get yourself in community or find a business bestie who can help keep you accountable, help keep you motivated, help keep you refreshed, and can really pull you up in those deep, dark times, because that does happen in business, especially when we're learning, how to deal with the consistencies in income in business. And that's why we teach not necessarily quitting your job at first, so that you can be prepared for these things. But those are just some tips. I hope that was able to help those who are struggling, trying to find clientele for your business. You just have to keep going, never give up. Never give up. I always think that, what if I give up today and tomorrow's the day where I hit big? Tomorrow's the day where I get an abundance of clients, and it's going to happen, and it will happen for you too. So I hope this helps. Please, if you got any good information for this, or you have a business bestie and you guys are both going through this, please do not gatekeep, share this episode with them. And if you are interested in learning how to start your IV hydration business, please go to the show notes. We will link the website to our IV hydration training, where we teach you guys these things, so you will be well equipped with these tools and tactics on how to be successful in your business. So until next time, bye.